Good afternoon to all. Today I will discuss about the welding defects under Unit 3. And end of this lecture, student will able to learn about the welding defects, causes and remedies. Welding defects. So during welding time, number of defects has been occurred to the welding phases. What are the welding defects? There are number of welding defects. First one, slack inclusion, then second, undercut, third, porosity, incomplete fusion, overlap, underfill, spatter, excessive convexity, excessive weld reinforcement, incomplete penetration, excessive penetration. That are the main defects that has been shown in the welding phases. Now, first one, slack inclusion. So, what are the causes? What are the causes due to that thing the slack inclusion has been occurred? First one, low amperage, means due to low current. Sometimes improper technique, slow travel rate. Due to that things, that type of slack inclusion has been occurred to the welding phases. So, how we can prevent that type of slack inclusion? Okay, that are the slack inclusion. That are the slack inclusion has been occurred to the welding phases. That are the slack inclusion has been occurred to the welding phases. Okay. So how to prevent that slack inclusion? First, increase the amperage, means we increase the current. Then increase the travel rate, means we increase the travel rate and increase the ampere or current, that is the up to optimum rate. Beyond that will again it will create the problems. So how to repair? So remove by the grinding or other mechanical process, we can remove the slack inclusion. Second, undercut. So what are the causes? Due to that thing, the undercut problems have occurred. That is the undercut. That type of problem is the undercut problem. That problem is the undercut problem. Means that type of depth has been occurred inside the metal surface. Inside the metal surface. And what are the cause? Due to high amperage, means high current, weld wrong electrode angle and long arc length and rust. Due to that things, the undercut problems has been occurred to the weld phase. What are the prevention? First, set machine on scrap metal to correct parameters. First, we set the correct parameters. On that particular parameters, we do the welding. And clean metal surface before welding. Also, we clean the surface before welding. How to repair that things? That type of undercuts has been occurred to the weld surface. That is the welding surface, and in that welding surface undercut problem has been occurred. So how to repair? Weld with smaller electrode, means small size of electrode we have used for welding purpose. Sometimes must be must be low hydrogen with preheat. Sometimes we have used the hydrogen with preheat. That things also used in case to prepare the undercut problem in the weld phases. Incomplete fusion. So what are the causes? Incomplete fusion, sometimes the welding does not occur properly, means that type of problem, that is the incomplete fusion. That are the incomplete fusion occurs to the welding phases. So that is also very important problem that has been occurred to the welding phases. And also the weld quality, weld strength also decreases due to incomplete fusion to that particular weld phases. That is also incomplete fusion to the weld phases. Means that type of thing has been we have shown to during welding time. So what are the cause? Low amperage, steep electrode angle, fast travel speed, short arc gap, lack of preheat, electrode too small, unbase clean before welding, means does not clean the surface properly before welding, another arc of seam. So that type of things helps to produce the incomplete fusion. So how to prevent that things? First one, eliminate the potential causes. Means when we provide the potential difference to during welding time, so we provide the potential difference properly during welding time. How to repair? Remove, and again that type of problem has been occurred. We remove that weld, again we re-weld. Being careful to completely remove the defective area. Means when take the incomplete fusion, so we remove that weld faces. After that again re-weld. Okay, and that full defective area we have removed. Then again we will take the re-weld, and due to that thing the proper welding takes place at that particular weld zone. Overlap. What is the overlap problem? Means when we are doing the welding, sometimes the extra area weld bit, means weld pool has been deposited, means that is the overlap area. That is the overlap area. Means here we are seeing that surfaces, means weld pool, means extra molten metal has been accumulated or stored in that extra surface, has been accumulated extra surfaces. So that type of problem is the overlap problem. So what is the cause? Improper welding technique, steep electrode angle and fast travel rate. Due to that thing, that overlap problem has been occurred. So how we can prevent that type of overlap problem? Now that is the contour type of problem. Means due to extra melting of the base metal or filler material, that type of extra overlap has been occurred to the weld zone. Proper welding technique will also prevent this problem. Means extra area will be overlapped. Extra area will be overlapped to the weld zone. Extra area will be overlapped to the welding zone. Underfill. So underfill, in that cases, sometimes during welding time the full surface must be filled up with the weld pool or bead metal of the welding zone. So here that zone will be filled out by the melting metal of that during welding time, but that portion will not fill up. That portion will not fill up. Means that is the underfilling problem during welding time. So improper welding, what are the cause? Now due to improper welding techniques does not fill up properly to the welding zone. How to prevent? Apply proper welding techniques for the weld type. Another, use stripper beads before the cover pass. So that type of things we have used for prevention of that particular problem. So how to repair? Simply weld to fill and may require preparation by the grinding. Sometimes we simply do the welding to fill up that particular space, and also we remove that type of underfill problem. Spatter problem, that is the common and important problem to the welding spaces. What happens? Means that type of some extra bars type will be formed during welding time. Means some extra materials will be accumulated to the welding zone. Extra materials will be accumulated to the welding zone. That type of problem is called spatter problem. That is a very common problem during welding time. That type of extra materials will be accumulated to the welding zone. Means that type of problem is called spatter problem. Generally during Smith welding, that type of problem generally occurred. That is called weld spatter problem. Means here weld spatter means extra material has been submitted here. Extra material has been submitted here. Means that is the weld zone, and across the nearby welding zone some extra metal has been accumulated here. That is the weld spatter problem. So what are the cause? High arc power, magnetic arc flow, dam electrodes. Due to that thing, that type of problem has been occurred. How to prevent that type of problem? Now reduce arc power, reduce arc length, use dry electrodes. So using that thing we can prevent that spatter problem. And how to repair that problem? Remove by mechanical process, means we use some grinding process, some other process. Using that process we remove that extra material, means extra materials of the spatter problem. Excessive convexity, means here we are seeing that during welding time generally convexity problem, means that type of extra convexity shape, concave type shape will be takes place during welding time. Okay, that problem is called excessive convexity problem during welding time. So that is the leg length, that is called leg length. Okay, so in that cases means extra material has been submitted in that zone, means type concave convex type shape has been formed in that welding zone. So means extra metal means extra power also required for melting the extra metal. So we remove that type of problem. Okay, not required extra convex type shape, that is not required. So what are the cause due to that problem? Mainly amperage and travel speed, that is the main responsible for that problem. So how to prevent? Observe proper parameters and techniques. So we use the proper welding techniques, and before welding we use the proper parameters. Using proper parameters we can solve this type of problem. So how to repair? Must blend smoothly into the base metal, means during welding time the molten metal must be blend, must be mixed with the base metal. Due to that thing, that problem we can remove. Excessive concavity, means concave type extra concave type shape will be formed, means here most of the spaces does not fill up with the molten metal. So due to that thing sometimes excessive concavity shape will be formed in that welding zone. So what are the cause? Amperage and travel speed. How to prevent that things? First one, observe proper parameters and techniques. And how to repair? Must blend smoothly into the base metal. If we mix the molten metal to the base metal, so we do the welding properly. Excessive weld reinforcement. So here we are seeing that is the face reinforcement, that is the face reinforcement. Okay, and here face of the weld, that is the face of the weld. So here we are, that is the reinforcement problem, excessive weld reinforcement problem. So here in that cases we are seeing that the travel speed too slow, amperage too low. Due to that thing, that problem has been occurred. How we can prevent? Set travel speed and amperage on scrap plate. Another repair, remove excess reinforcement and feather the weld to be smooth transition to that base plate. If we, due to removal of the excessive reinforcement, we get the smooth welding face. Now incomplete penetration, sometimes due to incomplete penetration, that type of problem is the incomplete penetration, means penetration depth is not occurred properly during welding time. So that in that time the weld pool or weld bit does not accumulated in that weld faces, means that type of incomplete penetration has been occurred. Sometimes maybe that type of problem has been occurred. Okay, means weld pools means incomplete penetration has been occurred during the welding zone, means during the welding time. So what are the cause? Low amperage, low preheat, tight root opening, fast travel speed, short arc length. Due to that thing, that are the causes that are the responsible for incomplete penetration. So how to prevent that things? Correct the contributing factors, means if we are setting the proper parameters, welding parameters, so due to that thing we can prevent that type of problems. Another, how to repair? Back gauge and back weld. If we are using back gauge and back weld, so due to using of that thing, we remove that type of incomplete penetration problem. And end of this lecture, students have learned about the welding defects, causes and remedies. Now I am showing the different welding defects in that particular video. That is the solid inclusions, that is the job surface. that are the solid inclusion problems entrapped in that weld metal. Means some impurities has been added in that welding phases. Dirty base metal, excessive moisture in electrode, dirty filler wire. Due to that things, that type of problem has been occurred. Lack of penetration means that are the lack of penetration problem. That is the lack of penetration, means that faces does not fill up with the molten metal. What are the causes? Improper joints and improper, for example, it is similar to obtain full penetration in U joint as compared to J bar joint. Due to that thing, lack of penetration is occurred. Too large root face, root gap, too small pivot angle, less arc current, faster arc travel speed. So, number of factors are there. Due to that things, that problem has been occurred. That type of cracks has been occurred to the weld faces. That welding cracks has been occurred due to poor ductility of the base metal, fast arc travel speed, rigidity of the joint. Due to that thing, that problem occurred, and that is the poor welding defect. That is the job surface, the weld quality is very poor, and due to poor quality of the weld, that type of problems occurred. Porosity problem, that type of problem are the porosity problems. Means due to gas entrapment, that type of problem has been occurred. That are the porosity problems. Then small voids has been created to that particular metal due to gas entrapment. What is the causes? Entrapment of refractory oxides, improper joint design, poor electrode manipulative technique. So due to that thing, that problems has been occurred. Distortion problem. Means distortion means change of the shape of the welding spaces that has been occurred between two plates. Visual inspections means using visual inspection we observe some defects in the weld joints, means that is the porosity blowholes problem. So we are seeing that thing, so we can decided that that is the one welding problems, blowholes problems.